It's one to dream to change and change for better. Change is not an easy thing, it's an uphill task. And many a time you have to just walk alone and face the challenges of the world and the criticism of the people around you, what you're doing and why you're doing it. It wouldn't bother them. They wouldn't budge and they wouldn't take no for an answer. They just do what they want to because they have the single minded vision in front of them to change the world and make it into a better place. Yes, we are talking about these change makers who we are going to celebrate and we are going to talk to them how they are making it happen in our change maker series by the whomag.com. I'm your host Himanshi Lathia Singh. So we are starting the change maker series from today. Today is the 72nd Republic Day of India, and what could be a better day than this to start celebrating these leaders and these change makers who are changing it with their talents and gifts and their single mindedness, making this world a better place for you and me. Join me and welcome these people and celebrate them together.
We are proud to kick off our first episode of Chain Makers with very special people today. Meet Team Folk Fitness. Their mission is to help 1 crore women in India overcome PCOS and live normal and healthy lives. The most common endocrine disorder among women. It impacts women of all races and ethnicities. Roughly 1 out of 4 women in India suffers from PCOS. This is not just one of the most common causes of female infertility, but it also impacts women far beyond the childbearing age. This lifelong health condition continues far beyond the childbearing years, and PCOS has very high percentage of individuals who remain undiagnosed when visiting their doctor, and which is estimated to be as high as 75%. Meet Team Folk Fitness. Their mission is again to help 1 crore women fight PCOS. In fact, be free of PCOS naturally by 2030. We start by welcoming Ms. Aarti Pandey, who is co-founder of Folk Fitness. Hi Aarti, welcome to the show.
Hi Himanshi, thank you for inviting.
Ms. Aarti Pandey is the co-founder of Folk Fitness, and she's a PCOS reversal expert and fertility expert. She's also a Limca Book of Records holder, an enthusiastic professional in the field of holistic fitness, wellness, and healthcare for women with 10 years of rich experience. Her specialty is reversal of lifestyle health challenges women are facing. And naturally, a renowned wellness mentor, speaker, and thought leader, she networks and invests time with holistic healthcare professionals so that she can provide you with advanced natural solutions. Aarti has created magical folk dance based protocol inspired by 122 Indian folk dances to become physically fit. And this is what got her into the Limca Book of Records. Next, we have Mr. Manoj Uprati with us. Mr. Manoj, welcome to the show.
Thank you,
And
Himanshi.
we are really proud to have you all. Mr. Manoj is the co-founder of Folk Fitness, and he seeks excellence and opportunities to improve the quality of life of people with special focus on women wellness. Have taken up a mission to impact lives of 1 crore women and their families through natural holistic wellness approach. He co-founded the first Make in India fitness solution, Folk Fitness, in December 2015, and a wellness entrepreneur for more than 5 years, enriching life of more than 50,000 people through Folk Fitness solutions. Being an MBN certified fitness professional, his knowledge areas range from business management, fitness operations management, fitness solutions development, and technology to Six Sigma based quality methodologies. Next, we have Dr. Manisha Joshi. Dr. Manisha, welcome to the show. Dr. Joshi is an MBBS and DGU MD as an obstetrician and gynecologist, and she's from the prestigious State GS Medical College and KEM Hospital, Mumbai. She's been practicing for more than 2 decades, and she is also a very important part of Team Folk Fitness. We welcome Ms. Gayatri Kulkarni. Hello, Mr. Kulkarni. Wish you welcome to
Hello.
the show. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ms. Gayatri Kulkarni is a certified multiple brain integration coach from Australia. She's certified life coach from Coaching and Leadership Institute, Canada, past life regression therapy practitioner, and a practitioner in NLP, and the list goes on. And she has 20 years of experience. She helps Team Folk Fitness in their creating the solutions and helping women with coaching and mentoring. So my first question goes to Aarti. Aarti, tell me why PCOS is so harmful.
So, Himanshi, the reason of bringing PCOS as a mission was unfortunately, like cancer or diabetes, PCOS is really not popular. So, a lot of women population is unknowingly suffering. The family is not aware of it, and they tag the women as "ye to chidchidi hai," or she's the one who's always emotional, or she's always angry. But the family members don't understand that it's not her; it's her hormones in the body which are playing this game with her. That's number one. And as you spoke about the statistics, one in every four women today is actually suffering from this unknowingly, or even after being diagnosed, it's being tagged as, oh, little acne, little hair fall, or little hirsutism, or sudden weight gain. But it is beyond that. Women with PCOS are more susceptible to diabetes, are more susceptible to endometrial cancer, or ovarian cancer, or fibroids, endometriosis, and so much more. So, the reason of taking this mission was women who always put themselves least in priority should be aware of themselves, take this plunge, take their health in their hands, and we wanted to support them and let the families also know that the woman is struggling with something which is PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So that's why we took up this mission.
So before we move further in discussion, I want to clear one doubt with Dr. Manisha Joshi. What is the difference between PCOS and PCOD?
Okay, so Himanshi, this is more of a theoretical question, doesn't have much of practical application.
Okay.
So theoretically, when we say PCOD is a more severe form of PCOS, wherein the woman is really gone into the severe part of it. So as Aarti just said, so women then progress towards endometriosis, or they progress towards diabetes, which becomes something that even after they have gone through their reproductive age, they are still suffering out of it, because some years back they had PCOS, and now they at that time or even after that they did not take care of it. They had children somehow, and now they are just living, and then they are suffering from diabetes or thyroids or weight issues or acne and really hormonal imbalances. So now it's not just the reproductive hormones which have gone haywire. It's many of the hormones and many of the chemicals in the body are just not working properly. So she is gone into the disease category. So it's more
How would a woman know that she has PCOS?
okay. How clinically, now clinically women can definitely understand, because the body starts talking to you. So first of all, she understands that her menstrual pattern is now irregular. She does not have periods regularly the way she had before. So sometimes she has to really wait for them, or sometimes she has to take medicines to bring them out. So one is irregular periods. Some women go through painful periods which they never had. So they experience now the periods come with severe pain. Also, they start experiencing weight gain. It's something that any woman can just not ignore about it. So she understands that she has put on weight. Many indicators in the body tell us that we have put on weight. So weight increases. Secondly, she develops acne on her body, especially on the face. Some women go through unwanted hair growth somewhere in the body, that it's more of a male pattern, but now they are seeing it on their own body as well. Some women go through hair loss and really bald patches on their hair, on their scalp. And then once they go through this, definitely they would want to check themselves, and then they go to the laboratory and to doctors, and then we make them go through a battery of tests. So sonography is done, which shows us that the ovaries have gone into a different pattern called as polycystic. So there are a lot of follicles growing on the ovaries, which were not before, and the ovaries are too bulky. The size of the ovary also differs. So there are some indicators on the sonography as well, which tells us that this is a polycystic picture. Then we make them go through certain blood tests, such as some hormonal assays, and they give us an idea of why the male hormones are increasing, something like testosterone or androstenedione, and why are the reproductive hormones are not working in a pattern that they should be working in a woman of a reproductive age.
So when, as you said, that when you have, your symptoms like acne and you have hair fall and weight loss, it is not the solution. The solution is not in just going to a dermatologist, right? Arti, you would like to throw some light on this. So a lot of people go to.
So Himanshi, it's very unfortunate, but it's very, very true. Like Manisha ma'am said, your body speaks to you, right? So your skin is the reflection of what's happening inside your body. So if you're getting these acnes, I have seen a lot of ads about these creams and dermatologists. So you go for these treatments. They are really not working on the root cause.
Mhm.
Hair fall, I've heard women blaming the water of their city. If that was the case, everyone around would be having hair fall and not just specific women. If you have hirsutism, which is unwanted hair growth, they go for laser treatments. Now, all of these are working superficially and they'll give some result on the surface of it. But the root cause, as Manisha ma'am said, is the hormonal imbalance, is having excess male hormones in the body. And that's what has to be nailed. And that's why we do a lot of awareness talks, we do a lot of short videos so that young girls and even ladies are aware that the treatment doesn't lie in just popping some pills or applying some creams. It's about lifestyle. If you have hormonal imbalance, it's something in your lifestyle that has to be in order and not just treating it superficially or through pills.
For example, like I'm experiencing a lot of hair fall, and it's not like normal hair fall. I'm experiencing unnatural hair fall. So it means like I've actually been thinking that Gurgaon's water is bad, and maybe because of the color that I'm using, and maybe because of. So what you are saying is that I must look into my lifestyle. I must look into some deeper lining issues that could be causing it, right?
Absolutely. Now, when we speak about hair fall, Himanshi, we need to understand that when the male hormones increase in our body, they go and actually sit on the follicles of our scalp, right? And that makes our hair weaker, and that's how you have hair fall. If Gurgaon water was the problem, everyone around you would be having hair falls and everyone around would have these bald patches. But it happens in very few women who have increased male hormones in our body. So it's very important, and that's why we have created this PCOS assessment test. So women sitting at home can just invest 2 minutes and know what kind of symptoms their body has and what's their score. If the score is more than 5, it really means the woman should take charge of their health and understand that it's beyond superficial observations. It's within their body, it's the lifestyle, it's the hormonal imbalance that they need to work on.
Thank you so much, Aarti. Our viewers can just check the link below, which is for hormonal assessment test, and just a few questions you need to answer, and then you know whether your issue is related to hormones and PCOS or something very simple. Dr.
Right.
Manisha, I want to know from you what is the importance of natural menstrual cycle among women.
So if you want to regular periods, tell us. Okay, the woman is definitely not a woman. A woman is definitely not having polycystic ovaries. Or if a woman is not having regular periods, that is the time that we nowadays we really think about PCOS very much, which we were not about 10 years ago. But abhi, agar a woman is not having regular periods, we really clinically or in my mind, I just keep it as the first option that probably she may have polycystic ovaries. And then when I go into the topic details, when I ask her about how long has been this going on, is it associated with painful periods? Is it associated with heavy bleedings? Or is it that she really has to take medicines to have her periods? Clinically or in my mind, I just make a picture she most probably has PCOS. So the importance of regular patterns is, I mean, once you have regular patterns, a woman generally does not have PCOS. So irregularity of menstrual patterns gives us a fair diagnosis nowadays more so because as Aarti always says, and all of us know that women have really gone into a different lifestyle pattern, especially for the eating habits and the sleep patterns and the exercise and the activity and even the stress over here. So that all gives us a picture of PCOS very much easily. So regular menstrual period, PCOS is out, but irregular menstrual period, PCOS mostly comes as the first.
Possibility.
Yeah.
My next question is to Ms. Gayatri. What do you suggest women and how do you mentor them? What is that you like to suggest?
So what happens, Himanshi, that when we are going through a stress, it is because of many other factors, and body and mind is connected. So there always will be when body is going through something, the mind is going to get impacted. When mind is getting through a lot of stresses, expectation from your own self, what society expects now, social media expects. So there's so many things happening around, which is somewhere causing you to have PCOS as well. You know, it starts both ways. It could be this way or that way. What happens specifically in when the periods are about to come and people say, oh, I have those days, or maybe mood swings are happening, the first and foremost favor that you can do to your own self is to accept that I am going through all of this. The misnomer of having positive thoughts, and you have to feel always happy, you have to always be, into that bubbly chirpy mode, or pleasing, or you should be having that smile on your face, and sometimes it is not going to be there, and I am not feeling well, and I'm accepting that I'm going through it. And if at all my emotions are telling me, because that is a direct indication that my body is suffering, can I take a pause and stop this, being a persona who is so happy always, so that nobody says, why are you so sad? So I don't want this, so I want to be always happy. In this all, the stress increases. So what is mainly we do in the program also, and we keep on telling all the ladies, is first understand that your emotions are messengers. They're trying to tell you something. If you're angry, it is telling you that something is not happening right in your life. If you're sad, you want to reach out to your own people. Your body is telling you something. We all been saying the same. I think you'll keep on hearing that your body talks to you, your mind talks to you. Listen, don't just discard the emotion saying that, okay, it is negative, so I do not want it. No, they're only messengers. The first and foremost thing we make all the women aware is that accept you have emotions. They have some role to play. They are messengers. And most importantly, start counting your blessings, that all the great things happening in your life, they're constantly happening in your life. So when these two things are there, they start understanding and managing their environment. So this is how the first step begins for them.
But there is one issue which women, especially in Indian women, face, is that they don't speak up. They don't know how to express themselves to their family members. And as you said, they are always in the process of projecting that they're in control of things, and they're taking care of everything very swiftly. And many a time what happens that the family members, they just don't understand, they just don't gauge it, what's happening to them. So what do you suggest, how to convey to your family members? It's very important. It's very important, to be able to convey and express to your family, to your husband and to your children.
Who are just becoming aware of, I have PCOS. So, what happens is, I have periods and it pains. Not necessary it should pain, but right now I'm going through certain pain. So first I become aware that I'm going through something, that some emotions are going up and down. I am having those so-called swings right now. So I accept, and then I sit and communicate that maybe if at all I'm going through certain things, please be with me, please understand. Of course, in folk fitness, there is a different modality which I would want Aarti to speak about before I do, because it's the way I just love the way it has been put forth in the program and the inclusion has happened in the program. But what happens for every woman, it is time now when you are going through some things, be it happiness or sadness or sorrow or grief or stress. It is important that we build our first circle, our own family members, or typically few friends, where we let them know that what is happening. And most importantly, when the jokes are made, uske wo din, yeah, that those mood swings, we're actually coming forward and saying that, yeah, I do not like it. Would you honor? That is something that I'm going through, and this is not something that I would like to joke about. Would you understand? So this, taking up your own responsibility, owning up your own emotions, owning up your own story, will be a step which will make them courageous enough, happy enough to reach out to their own people.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, Aarti, we are eager to listen from you.
So family plays a very, very important role, Himanshi, and you've really picked up a fantastic question. And that's why our program really highlights this. As I told you, a woman who's going through PCOS symptoms has mood swings. Now, it's not in her control to, sometimes she snaps, she wants to play with the child, but she's fatigued. She doesn't have the energy because she has sleep apnea. She has fatigue, she has mood swings. All of this is happening to her because of weight gain. She's not that confident to go out, so she is in her shell. Now all of this is going within a woman alone. The family, as I told you, is not aware of it. So in our program of 3 months reversal, it's important that a woman has a support partner. And on day one of the program, we introduce what is PCOS, what are the symptoms, what a woman is going through to the support partner. Now, this support partner can be her husband, can be her mother-in-law, can be a mother in case of a girl child. So we make sure that someone who is always around this person, is watching her mood swings, is watching her fatigueness, is a part of this program, understands what a woman is going through, and gives her that space so that she can actually overcome these symptoms. Very important for a support partner to be there for the woman to be able to do this program happily. And so that's what we do. We explain the partner about everything the woman goes through.
That's nice. So Manoj, you are on a mission to free 1 crore women of PCOS by 2030.
Yes.
Tell us more about your mission. Tell us more how you're going to achieve it. What's your plan and
Okay.
what you have done so far?
Yeah. So first and foremost, I'm glad to be part of a mission like that with wonderful and powerful female. Some of them you see on the panel today. See, we've been working in the wellness domain, Aarti and me with our team for almost 6 years now, more than 6 years. And we've interacted with more than 50,000, especially working, the corporate segment. And then we realized, and all the data also shows that roughly 22 to 25% of female in India are suffering from PCOS. Most of them do not even know, which basically means there would be 15 crore, almost 15 crore women in India suffering from PCOS. That's how huge
True.
and big the impact is.
Yeah.
And we fundamentally believe that, our objective is basically to make households healthy. Okay. And the way to get a household healthier is to get the women of the house healthier. And if 15 crore of our women are suffering from something like PCOS, which is a very, Aarti and Dr. Manisha and Gayatri ji has already explained the implication of PCOS in the life of a woman. Of course, it's going to disturb a lot of other elements in their household, which goes a lot more than, the physical and the health part. It impacts relationship, it impacts, work, considering that a lot of women are doing a lot of multidimensional role. Even if they are housewives, they are doing a lot of multidimensional role of taking care of their family, the education. Post-corona period, there's been added element of a lot of online things happening with education, schools and work and everything happening at the same time. We realize that women have predominantly, historically, and now all the more started neglecting their health more than what they used to. So that's why we thought of taking this as a mission. And it started with educating them on what PCOS is, what it could do, and helping them to do a very quick assessment to basically tell them that, this is a reality. This is something which is there, and this is something that you need to take care of, which is what Aarti talked about with the 2-minute PCOS self-assessment and hormonal assessment survey, by which a female would be able to know whether they are prone to have a impact like PCOS in their life or not. Now, something which is impacting 15 crore of our households in India is absolutely the mission we are after. Out of those 1 crore female and household, we are absolutely confident, and with support with friends like yourself, we are pretty sure we would be able to make 1 crore women healthier, free from PCOS, and basically make them experience the better version of their lives that they all deserve.
And you have already talked to 50,000, interacted 50,000 women already, Manoj. We were talking about it. So what has been your assessment?
Yeah, so a couple of things, and especially let me talk about, say, working women to start with. Okay.
Yeah.
Most of them, as I said, have not prioritized their health the way they should. Right. And fortunately, in the Indian context of doing things, a woman really plays the most important role in a household. Okay. With those 2 points put together, unfortunately, there is a lack of sensitivity towards their own health, and there is a lack of education within the women and the household at large, which is what Aarti and Dr. Manisha talked about earlier as well. That And I have been a culprit of that, right? Being a husband, being a son, being a brother. It's not that I didn't want to respect. I did not have that education. I also use terms like those days of the month, and she's going to be cranky for next 4 days, things like that. Unless we started interacting and really understanding what goes through, right? And the moment that education happened, the change of perspective happened. And that's been our biggest insight while interacting with a lot of women. Either they don't know. If they know, they always have deprioritized their own health. And the most important element is there is a gap in terms of a family support, which is where that support partner as an element came in solution. That if this program has to be successful, the family needs to be involved in that, because the household is going to get changed. It's not a pill that they can take
Yeah,
today and have the PCOS reversed, right? They have to at least go through a 3 months of lifestyle transformation. That means somebody in family needs to understand this condition, be with them, support them. And that's been the insight which were converted into certain key element in our solutions of having support partner, having a lifestyle transformation, and giving these women a 2-minute assessment to assess and take the a decision oriented or a information oriented decision for their lives.
Thank you so much, Manoj. When you're talking and you mentioned something very important, that women neglect their own health. I want to ask Gayatri. Gayatri, these days there are few women I'm following on social media. They are promoting the concept of self-love. Okay, so can you just say tell us how self-love can help you in your journey as a healthy woman, right? And is self-love and selfishness are the same? Because a lot of women think, because the way we are conditioned, we think that if we take care of ourselves and give ourselves priority, so it's like being selfish.
It all starts with exactly what you said the last, that if I love myself, will I become selfish? Will I be the person who is pampering or self-obsessed so much that I will forget the entire world? That's the fear from where it all began.
Yes.
Self-love is not only for a female or a women, it is for men, it is for all of us. All of us, when we love ourselves completely, that is when we can love. So I love to give this analogy where I share with these women that how and what is self-love really. So the idea, the analogy that I give is it's like a cake. So I have a cake and I make it into pieces. That is a love that is available with me. And I share it with my people, that whom I call that I love them. And I keep giving it to them. And then somebody says, oh, I need some more. So whatever piece that I had reserved for myself, I give it to that also, because that gives me immense satisfaction.
Yeah.
That, oh, I have given that also. But then I am empty now and I keep waiting for someone to love me. See, out of two things, I love you and I am being loved. Definitely the second part is so enticing, that somebody loves me, somebody really takes care of me. So because of this, what happens is the person gets into this idea that, oh, if I give all of mine, maybe then somebody will accept me. And in Indian society or across the globe, actually, the same thing is for a woman. She's somewhere ingrained to offer herself, to be there, available, to understand, because she has natural tendency. That's her energy, where she wants to reach out and support and care. That's who she is as a female. That comes out for her naturally. But in the process, in that dilemma, if I love myself, then what will happen? So I say, break this analogy. How about you thinking that love is a radiating sun's energy, because you are radiating completely inside first and then reaching out.
Beautiful.
Because when I am completely loving, I wouldn't bother that today you spoke less with me, then you spoke, you were angry with me, you were sad with me, so I will love you less or more, or I will love you only when you are going to love me back. So there is no transaction here, and I don't have to wait for someone's appreciation. What happens, as a small child, I needed that love. So my parents, my surrounding offered me. But now is a time, as I didn't know how to eat myself, I slowly trained myself, or I've been taught how to eat. Likewise, slowly the transition needs to happen where I am now loving myself. The more I love myself, I can offer better. So when this premise is set, I think that would help every person on the planet to love themselves better.
I just love the example of cake, and it truly represents how our, women, how they live their lives. My last question for this show is to Aarti. Aarti, can you just tell us how you're including all this, integrating all these therapies? You have medical, you have dances. I really want you to tell me something more about those 221 dances. You said 221 dances, and how you incorporate all this into your program. Just tell us all about it.
Sure. So Himanshi, when we took up this mission and we spoke to hundreds and hundreds of women, we realized that some are told lose your weight, some are told go on a healthy diet, some are told it's a lifestyle disorder, just get your lifestyle in order. And the women were clueless. When you say lifestyle disorder, what do you mean? Is it my sleep? Is it my food? Is it exercise? What is it? And they have to go to different places. You have to go to a gym to lose weight. You have to search a dietitian. For mental well-being, you have to find a psychologist or a psychiatrist, or a counselor. Where do you go? And that's when we decided and made a panel of experts, and that's where Dr. Manisha Joshi, Mrs. Gayatri Kulkarni, we have Dr. Smita Pargaonkar, Dr. Kedar Pargaonkar, and so many more, who had the same mindset that yes, we want to give a holistic wellness to women. We want to reverse their disorder without medication or drugs. And we want to give them a platform where everything is accessible easily and in short capsules, so that a modern woman also is able to do it with their hectic lifestyle. And we came out with 5 pillars, Himanshi, and any woman who works on these 5 pillars can reverse their PCOS naturally. The first pillar is eat right, where we don't believe in fad diets because they are not sustainable. You're always waiting to see the calendar when the first is coming, when are you cheating or breaking your diet. So we don't believe in that, but we empower the women with the knowledge of when to eat, what to eat, how to eat, and why should they be eating. So they become their own dietitians. And we do detoxification of their body to remove the toxins. So that's the first pillar, eat right. Then move more, where our 122 registered folk dances come into picture, which works on an HIIT format, because everything in the world of fitness has come from abroad. And our own Indian folk dances have a lot of richness in it, and women love to tap their feet when they hear this. So it's not a monotonous exercise, but it's fun while you're shedding those fat from your belly. And a combination of power yoga to strengthen their reproductive organs. Our third pillar is sleep better. We provide them with scientific yoga nidras. These are audio files of 20 minutes each. They just have to plug and play and listen to these before they go off to sleep. And Himanshi, it's amazing how women have responded to this. They've said they feel less fatigued, they feel more energetic, they feel much more calm when they listen to it. And our fourth pillar is breathe in awareness. We teach them with breathing exercises so that right amount of oxygen actually goes to their pelvic region, their abdominal region. And our fifth pillar is mind free, which is by Gayatri ma'am, where she talks, she interacts, and she makes our women know their emotions, make them stress resilient. And we have medical consultation because it's a medical, disorder. And all of us have come together to create this entire program, and that's what we offer women to reverse their.
Amazing. Superb. So these are our heroes who make our first episode of Change Makers, and we are so happy we could start a program with you all. And let's give you all a huge round of applause. I think you all give clap to yourselves at what you are doing. And I really, really wish you all success in your journey of helping even more than a crore of women free of PCOS. And guys, we are sharing the link down here, which is assessment link, and we are sharing the contact details and email IDs of the team. And in case you have any doubts or you want any consultation, we can just reach out to them. It was wonderful to have you all, and wish you all success. Aarti, Manoj, Gayatri, and Dr. Joshi, it was such a pleasure to meet all of you.
Pleasure was
Thank you
all.
so much.
Thank you so much, Imanshi.
Thank you, Manshi.
Thank you. Bye.